A quiet contract marriage with an overprotective mage. Chapter 1. Quiet days never last. The library of the High Academy of Magic was always quiet. Paper and ink. The faint, lingering scent of magic. Elsia Nora sat by the window, slowly turning the pages of an old tome on magical theory. The spine was worn smooth, the cover faded with age. No one had borrowed it in years. She liked places like this, places where no one came looking. Elsia was used to being overlooked. A student who struggled to keep pace. Her modern spells rarely held steady. Her practical work failed more often than she wished. The instructors had stopped expecting much from her. And her classmates never had, to begin with. At least, it felt comfortable. All Elsia wanted was to graduate quietly, without standing out, without being noticed. It felt like the safest future she could hope for. Her fingers brushed the page. Warmth stirred beneath her skin. No. She closed the book at once, pressing the cover shut. The faint presence deep inside her responded, settling back into silence. For Elsia, magic was not something she wielded. It simply existed, as natural as breathing. And that was why it frightened her. Sometimes, in her dreams, she saw a tower of glass, a sky filled with stars, and herself sealed inside. That had nothing to do with her anymore. She told herself that. And then, the air changed. The magic in the library shifted, smoothing into a perfect order, unnatural in its stillness. The quiet rustle of pages faded. Even the silence seemed to grow deeper. Elsia looked up, before she realized she had moved. A man in a black cloak walked between the shelves. He was tall. With each step, the space around him seemed to draw tight. He appeared to be in his late 20s, at most early 30s. An age where youth had not yet faded, but composure had already settled in. The presence of a mage who felt utterly complete. Complete in a way that left no room for doubt. A court magician. No. Something rarer than that. Golden eyes met hers. They were calm, unreadable. Being held by that gaze made her instinctively lower her own. Leviathan Knox, the strongest mage in the royal court. A name known throughout the kingdom, even to her. Why is he here? Elsia hugged the book closer to her chest. This was someone far removed from her quiet world. Elsia Nora. His voice was low, carefully controlled. Her heart skipped. Yes. She regretted answering. The moment the word escaped her, she had drawn attention to herself. He stopped beside her desk. There was space between them, and yet the room felt smaller. I'd like a moment of your time. With me. With you. A simple confirmation. A tone that asked calmly, leaving little room to say no. She became aware of a subtle pressure in the air, as if the magic itself had turned its focus toward them. Let's change locations. This place isn't suitable. He glanced around once. Strangely, that single motion eased the atmosphere, as though he had smoothed the air itself. This man. He should have been frightening. And yet, Elsia found herself breathing more easily. My residence is near the academy. His private residence. A flicker of unease stirred in her chest. This isn't an order, he said quietly. But. He paused. Only for a moment. It won't be an unkind offer for you. Their eyes met again. There was no desire to control her there. Only careful consideration and a quiet resolve. The look of someone who had already decided to take responsibility. Just a conversation. Right. Yes. A brief answer. Yet it carried a quiet weight. As though it promised more than words alone. Elsia stood. Her movements slow and deliberate. Somewhere deep inside, she understood. This choice would gently, but surely, change the shape of her days. And still. All right. The moment she agreed, the magic around him softened. Just a little. That was where the contract began. Though Elsia did not yet know. This man would not become her cage. But the place? She would one day come to feel safe.